Hello, precious one. My name is Bishop Nyame Charles. Wherever you are watching me from, I am much blessed and excited to be with you. May God bless you. If you have just joined me, please kindly share this page to impact the life of a lot of ministers. Please, African Impact Ministers Network. You are watching our online school of ministry, where we give advice to men of God, women of God, where we educate people on how the ministry is and how the church is supposed to be run and how things are supposed to be done in the house of God. Yeah, you may be called directly, you may also be somebody who followed a man of God in the ministry, or you got impacted somewhere. And we all come together for the betterment of the church. We come together so that the church can grow, so that the church can impact life. To be able to do this, we ourselves must be educated, we must be trained, we must be well educated in the things of God, the spiritual aspect of life, the social aspect of life, and every other aspect of life, so that we may be able to educate people, transform lives, and bring impact into their lives. And it is very important if we are able to instill values into the life of people. Today I'll be talking on the topic self-discovery before any important decision. Self-discovery. Most of the time in ministry, we make some decisions and later on we regret. Sometimes we come up with some decisions, we come up with certain things, and then later on when we sit down and we realize that what we did years ago actually ruined our life, then we want to correct things. Then we realize that we have actually wasted most of our time. And that is why you need to discover yourself before you take any important decision. I remember years ago in my life, I was actually going through certain things in life. I was stagnant, I wasn't moving, and I used to ask myself, why am I going through this process? And I got to know that life is in stages. I got to know that even the ministry is in stages. And so there are times and seasons that when you go through and you do not know what to do, you fall. And that is why you see people rising and you see people falling. And there were people that 10 years ago we used to hear about them, 5 years ago, 2 years ago, but now we don't hear about them anymore. Why? They were not able to stand in the time and season when troubles, when difficulties, and when struggles strike them. So if you want to be able to make impact in the ministry, not impact about yourself, but impact in the ministry, if you want to be able to stand tall and do things for the kingdom of God and be stable in the ministry, then you need to be informed so that you can transform lives. And so, self-discovery before any important decision. Don't make decision because you wish to or you want to, or someone is making decision. No, but you have to discover yourself first. If you know yourself better, if you know yourself well, it helps in decision making. There are people, they get into relationship, they get into work, they get into some society, some group or some kind of people, some association, some organization, without knowing what to do. But why is it that they don't know what to do? It's because they don't know themselves. Some are in ministry, they don't even know the kind of calling that they have. They don't even know the office that they have been placed into. They don't know what they actually possess. They are in ministry, they are preaching, they are prophesying, they are healing, they are doing everything, but they don't know. But why is it so? It's because you need to discover yourself first. So today on our online ministry, I will be teaching you how to discover yourself. Now the first point I will be talking of is, who am I? Who am I? Who am I is the first point I'll be talking of. Who am I? What do I believe about myself? And do I need to change it? You need to know who you are. Oh yes. You need to know who you are. You see, when you know who you are, it will help you to change certain things that are not in line. Certain things that do not follow the principles, do not follow the rules of life, do not follow the rules of the game, do not follow the rules of the kingdom of God and the ministry. And so you need to know. So the first thing is, who am I? Who am I? So what do I believe about myself and do I need to change it? Our self-talk and self-doubt is the number one killer of all motivation. And so if you don't know whom you are, you can't go forward, you can't move forward, you can never be stable, you'll be stagnant. And Something that is always stagnant is something that is dead. You are not growing. And when you are not growing, you are dying. So when you know who you are, it motivates you. When you know who you are, it gives you access. It gives you this kind of force, this kind of strength, this kind of determination and courage. And so you see, when people are saying you can't do it, when people are saying you can't succeed, when people are saying you will fall, you feel there is this fire inside you. Why? Because you know who you are. And so we have to take inventory of ourselves if we want to change our story. Oh yes. So you and I have a story. We come from a family. We come from somewhere. Okay? And so if you want to change your story, if you want to change everything about you, the first thing is to know who you are. What your fears are. What your determination is all about. What your courage is all about. What you want to achieve and what you want to become. You want to stand tall, yes. But you need to know who you are. So when you know who you are, it helps. Alright? So I told you that over the years I was having a lot of issues and I was going through a lot of struggles in ministry, with family, with friends, and then with work. But then I sat down and I decided to know who I am, what I can do best, and what God has given to me. And so the first point is, who am I? And that's what I'm talking to you about. When you're able to find out who you are, it helps you. You need to know what your fears are. You need to know what your downfalls are. You need to know what you lack in life and what you want to become. It is very important. I found out that I had been telling myself a story of limitations, fears, excuses, and then I missed a lot of opportunities. And I needed to change my story. Yeah. There are people in ministry, they have already missed a lot of opportunities. Why? Because they are filled with fear and limitations and they can't start anything. They feel that there are barriers around them. And so they see opportunities, but they can't have access to it. And a lot of people have missed opportunities in ministry, opportunities in life, and other sectors of life. Alright? So, the number 2 thing I will be talking about, who do I want to be? After knowing who you are, it helps you to move to the next dimension of life. In ministry, the next dimension, in marriage, in business affairs. It really helps. So, who do I want to be? Now, after you have taken inventory of yourself, okay, and then you begin to put away the negativity mindset, and then you embrace into your story, and you want to make impact here, of course. So, you need, therefore, to find a new direction. So, who do I want to be? When you take into consideration certain things about yourself and then you plan well, it helps. So therefore, it makes things easier for you. And you need to find a new direction. You need to create a vision for who you want to be. Because there's this thing that if you don't plan, you stay stagnant. And when you stay stagnant, things get dark for you. Alright? So you need to plan. Now, there is something I want you to know. It is either you are growing or you are dying. So when you are there, you are not making impact. And you are always at a low point, the same dimension. Nothing moves on. It means you are dying. So you need to create a vision for yourself. Yes. When you create a vision, then you start working towards a vision. You have to have a point, a goal point. You have to set a target that this is where I want to get to. Alright? And then the target, you need to fix in years, fix in months, weeks and days. There are some things you can achieve it when years comes. There are some in the course of months, in the course of weeks, or even days. Alright? And there are things it's even hours. So you need to fix the vision and then fix time, how to achieve them. Everybody can have a vision. When you start discovering yourself, you can have a lot of visions. Alright? But then you need to start from somewhere. There always has to be a starting point. If you don't have a starting point, you can never go forward. So there always have to be a foundation. There always have to be a starting point. So the starting point enables you to go forward. And it is very, very important. So create vision for yourself. When you create a vision for yourself, it gives you choices. And then things start moving very well. So this is important. No matter who you are and what you have achieved in life, No vision means no progress. Number 3, what am I willing to do to get there? Now that you have discovered who you are, and now that you have discovered what you want to be, how do you get there? So I want to be a great man of God. I want to make impact. I want to be a doctor and at the same time man of God, a lawyer and a man of God, a policeman and a man of God, a soldier and a man of God. I want to be a judge and a man of God, or man of God. I want to be a businessman and a man of God. I want to be a businesswoman and then a woman of God. We understand. This is what you want to be. Alright? You want to make impact in your village, in your community. You want to make impact in your region. You want to make impact in the country and even other neighboring countries. We understand. But the question is, what are you willing to do to get there? You cannot just get there because you wish to. There are things that needs to be done. There are sacrifices. What do you have to sacrifice? You have to sacrifice your appetite, your feeling, your emotions. You have to sacrifice the pleasures of life, the sweetness of life. You need to stay awake. You need to prepare towards a vision. You need to put away certain things that people do. Sacrifice a lot of things. Put away the sugar, the milk, the honey. They face the lion in front of you. Face the difficulties head on. Yeah. So the number 3 is, what am I willing to do to get there? Do not forget that for whatever action you take, there are results to it. Okay? So if you want to be manipulated, if you don't want to take action, if you always want to be stagnant, then it means you are dying. Alright? So this is all about action. When you believe in yourself and your potential, and you create a new vision and a new story for yourself, you will need to put your boot to the dirt. We've heard of what you want to become in the family, of what you want to become in the church, among your friends, your peers. But you can't sit down and become that. You need to start working. Put in more action, more effort, and do not be afraid of fear. Because fear is afraid of itself. You give in to fear when you doubt yourself. So the potential is there. But what is holding you? Do not stay in your comfortable zones. Put yourself together. Sacrifice the sweetness in you. Focus on the goal. Focus on how to achieve it. Focus on how to minister it. Focus on how to bring it into manifestation. So what are you willing to do every single day to bring you one step closer to that vision? You really have to ask yourself this question. So I was talking to my cameraman and he was saying that you have a vision of going into either the United States of America or other part of the world to steady camera work. And I told him it's good, but it doesn't happen in a day. It's process. And so that is life. So you look at the vision and it is at a far distance. Alright? You do not have wings to fly over there. And it is not a matter of flying, but because you can even get there, the vision is not manifested. So you have to sit down, plan, and then find a way to get there. It is an activity of daily basis. Actions that needs to be taken in seconds, in minutes, in hours, in days, in weeks, in months, in years. And boom, you wake up one day and you're already there. Alright? Let's talk about number 4. So, when you finally sacrifice, when you finally work hard, when you finally put in more effort and you get there, what will you now give back to the world? I know the world is unfair. The world never treated you fairly. Man of God, woman of God, I know things have been difficult. It wasn't easy for you starting your new branch, your new church. It wasn't easy for you starting your new business. Putting yourself together was never easy. Being disciplined in the house of God, sacrificing your time for the things of God, sacrificing your youth for God was never easy. But then, when finally you get to the destination you reached for, you get to the dimension you wished for, you get to the process, you get to where you wanted to be, you get to what you wanted to become, what then will you give? What are you going to give to the society and to the world? And so, how will I give back to this world? Of course, there are a lot of things you can give to the world. If the world never showed you love, you can give love to the world. If the world never gave you attention or gave you attention, you can give attention to the world. Whatever that the world did not give to you, and you have it in a positive manner, ladies and gentlemen, you can give that to the world. You can give a lot of things. You can create dimensions for impact. You can transform lives. In ministry, you can organize men of God, groom them, train them very well. Yes, you can visit different hospitals and pray for people. And when you see people struggling, you can come up with an idea how to help them. You can teach people, groom people in churches, in your areas, in schools. You need to find a way to give back to the world, no matter how difficult it is, no matter how the world turned their back on you, no matter how you were forsaken, rejected, and dejected. Yes, nobody looked up to you, but now the world is going to look up to you. How come it's so? It's because you were able to discover yourself. So, ladies and gentlemen, before you make any important decision, financial decision, religious decision, sexual decision, whatever decision that you want to make in life, you need to first discover yourself before you make this decision. Take your time. You first need to discover yourself. After discovering yourself, it will help you to know which steps to take to get to the next dimension in life. God bless you for watching this episode. My name is Bishop Dr. Nyame. I am much excited for you joining me today. Ladies and gentlemen, share this page to invite more men of God to join. And I believe together we will make greater impact. God bless you. See you next week.